DreamWorks has a lot of very intelligent villains, and in this video, I am going to be listing 10 of them. Let's kick off the list with the awesome Tai Lung, the Kung Fu prodigy from Kung Fu Panda. This guy is a martial arts genius who was so skilled that even the legendary Master Oogway had to step in to stop him when he went off the deep end. From a young age, Tai Lung showed impressive learning abilities and picked up martial arts super fast. Master Shifu was totally impressed by his strength and treated him like a son. Despite his intelligence and serious fighting skills, Tai Lung's biggest weakness is his ego. But let's not forget that he managed to break out of prison using nothing but a feather to unlock a crazy complex cage. That's some serious quick thinking and natural talent right there. Overall, Tai Lung is a skilled and powerful character who may have had his flaws, but his intelligence and martial arts abilities are definitely something to be reckoned with. Next up, we have the legendary but power-hungry Kai from Kung Fu Panda. This guy used to be Master Oogway's best friend, but his desire for power led Oogway to banish him to the spirit realm. After 500 years, he came back to the mortal world to reclaim his place in history. You've got to be pretty smart to be on the same level as Master Oogway, and Kai definitely fit the bill. He was probably responsible for a lot of the teachings in the temple alongside Oogway. Plus, his ability to twist the Kai techniques he learned from the pandas to fit his own purposes shows how adaptable and quick-thinking he is. Despite his flaws, Kai is a formidable opponent with a rich history and a unique set of skills. He's a memorable character in the Kung Fu Panda universe who adds depth and complexity to the story. Next, we have the brutal warlord Drago Bloodfist, who is like a dark reflection of Hiccup in many ways. While Hiccup uses his smarts to befriend dragons and invent cool stuff that helps people, Drago takes a more ruthless approach. Hiccup shares his knowledge freely, staying true to his nerdy but confident self. On the other hand, Drago uses his intelligence to dominate dragons and create weapons of war. He's not above using dragons for their parts, like turning their fireproof hides into armor. Drago's intelligence is definitely impressive, but it's tainted by his cruelty and desire for power. He's a foil to Hiccup and represents what the hero could have become if he had chosen a different path. Next up, we have Lord Shen, who may not be as talented as Tai Lung or as skilled in Kai as Kai, but he still poses a serious threat to our hero, Po. In fact, Shen comes closer to defeating Po than either of the other two villains. Shen is a master strategist who uses his intellect to turn fireworks into deadly weapons. He's also skilled in psychological warfare and uses blades to overcome Po's physical strength. He may not have the raw power of the other villains, but his cunning and leadership skills make him a formidable opponent. Unlike Tai Lung or Kai, Shen is a leader who commands an army and has a clear plan to take over China. His strategies and innovations, such as using cannons and fireworks as weapons, make him a unique and dangerous enemy. While he may not have the raw strength or skill of some of the other villains, his intelligence and leadership skills make him a serious threat to Po and the Valley of Peace. Next, we have Rumplestiltskin, the smartest of Shrek's small-sized enemies. Unlike Lord Farquaad, Rumplestiltskin didn't inherit his position. He had to scheme his way to the top and almost won the kingdom with a clever deal. Even when reduced to poverty, Rumplestiltskin's intelligence remained sharp. He saw an opportunity to trick Shrek into a contract that erased his existence. It's impressive that Rumplestiltskin was able to essentially conquer far, far away with ease, only being thwarted by Shrek's intervention. Unlike other Shrek villains, Rumplestiltskin actually succeeds in defeating Shrek temporarily. His intelligence and cunning make him a formidable opponent, even if he doesn't possess the physical strength of some of the other characters. Now let's talk about the cunning Fairy Godmother from Shrek 2. She's not as flashy as Rumplestiltskin, but she's definitely wiser. While Rumplestiltskin fell into poverty, the Fairy Godmother used her smarts to stay rich and powerful. The Fairy Godmother is a master manipulator who knows how to get what she wants subtly. She runs a successful potion business and is skilled at politicking and scheming. It's even implied that she's the one who cursed Fiona in the first place, orchestrating events to ensure her son rescues Fiona. Unlike Rumplestiltskin, the Fairy Godmother is still a major player in far, far away society, even after the events of Shrek Forever After. Queen Lillian's comment about not trusting her shows that she's still scheming and plotting behind the scenes. Next, we have Professor Marmalade, the villain from The Bad Guys who posed as a benevolent philanthropist. He was so good at acting that even seasoned criminals believed his innocent act. His plan was intricate and relied on a lot of schemes and manipulations, and it almost worked perfectly. His only mistake was trying to work with the crooks instead of scamming them outright. Despite his downfall, Professor Marmalade's wealth is a clear indication of his success as a thief. His fancy hideout contrasts sharply with the main character's more modest headquarters, suggesting a history of successful heists. While his cockiness might have contributed to his defeat, it's clear that he's had plenty of success in the past. Overall, Professor Marmalade is a cunning villain who knows how to play the part of a philanthropist while secretly scheming and stealing. Although he may not be as physically imposing as some other villains, his intelligence and success as a thief make him a formidable opponent. Next up, we have the cunning Dr. Octavius Brine, or Dave, from Penguins of Madagascar. This guy is smart enough to go up against a team of trained secret agent penguins. Octopuses are known for their intelligence, and Dave is no exception. Dave uses his ability to change colors and a creepy human-like face to disguise himself as a geneticist. But he's not just playing pretend, he actually knows his stuff. He invents some pretty wild stuff like the Medusa serum, which turns people into monsters, and a giant evil laser. It's no easy feat to hold your own against a team of trained penguins, but Dave manages to do it with his intelligence and inventions. The next one is none other than Megamind, who started off as a villain but eventually became a hero. He was the only villain we see Metro Man face in the movie, and even though Metro Man didn't take him seriously, Megamind's intelligence is undeniable. Sure, he may not have always had the best common sense, but without Metro Man around, the city was pretty much helpless against Megamind's schemes. He invented all sorts of cool stuff like matter dehydrators, giant robots, and a badass army of brainbots. Oh, and let's not forget that he managed to harness Metro Man's powers too. It's no wonder they call him Megamind. This guy's got some serious brains. Last but not least, we have Eris, the goddess of discord herself. Unlike other villains who simply want to cause chaos, Eris is the embodiment of chaos. She treats humans like her personal toys and is responsible for all the evil and disorder in the world. She's the one who sets the whole movie's plot in motion on a whim. Throughout most of the movie, Eris is spot on in her belief that humans are predictable. She watches as the pirates and scoundrels betray each other, confirming her expectations. However, her chaotic nature means she can't foresee Sinbad's transformation into a selfless hero. Eris takes her defeat in stride, playfully warning Sinbad not to push his luck. What makes Eris truly formidable is that she's a goddess who operates on a global scale. She's not just a small-time villain with a local agenda, her schemes affect the entire world.